Holy shit. I went on this whole tirade about what Elon Musk was saying and then realized I wasn't live. Okay, so let me start from the beginning. And then I'm going to play a lot of what he said because I've been listening to this broadcast that he did, and he was saying that there's not enough people on the earth, and that in order to resustain or repopulate the earth or have a sustainable population, people need to be having children. However, this is the thing. I don't disagree with him. I don't disagree with him at all. Okay. He also talked about I'm trying to backtrack on all the things I was saying before I realized that I absolutely wasn't recording. Um, he was saying that because people are talking about global warming, environmental issues, and he was saying that yeah, we have a problem with the industrial industries that have been in the past, and throwing toxic products into the rivers and into the ocean, and that environmentally we have caused some chaos on the earth, which is a fact, right? And he's also saying, like the toxins that were pushed out into the air and then it seeped down into the soil, and all these different things he was talking about, I agree with. What he did say was it's not about the environmental issues that's causing the problem with wanting to repopulate the earth. It's that nobody corrected environmentally, nobody corrected those toxins going into the rivers. Nobody talked about the pollutions going into the oceans and into the air and into the soil, and nobody corrected the problems. Again, I agree with him. So he also goes on to say in this episode, and I want to play some of the clips that he was saying that to sustain, Earth's population, people, they have to be having children, and he said something like 20 or 30 years from now, we won't have the population to sustain the people that are already here, or you know how that works. You have younger generations, they take care of the elderly, and so on and so forth, and then the cycle continues and continues and continues. So that part I agree with as well. Okay, this is a thing. We have a lot of correcting to do. We have a lot of correcting to do in society. We have a lot of correcting to do when it comes to what we're teaching kids. And this is a thing. There's a scripture that says, be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. This was part of the things I forgot to say when I was not recording. So yes, being fruitful means that you are instructing that child. You are nurturing that child. You're loving that child, and you are educating that child so that child grows up to be a productive person in your society, whatever your neighborhood, your society, your country, whatever the case may be. So what people don't realize, there's a lot of people that don't have the resources to instruct children. They don't have the resources to grow them up to be that benefit for their community. So those are some of the social issues that need to be addressed. And I don't think Elon Musk, when he was doing this episode, is actually addressing those things. He's talking on a grander scale, a more macro scale, as opposed to a micro scale, about what is actually taking place and why people are not having children. For one, women that have children are putting their own lives in their hands. Childbirthing is the number one main killer of women, right? So complications arise from childbirth, and then you have lost your life, and the infant that you're carrying loses their life. So nobody wants to address that it actually is a big deal for women to carry children and have children, right? It's a big deal. And women don't get the respect they deserve for doing that. You've got certain people in the trans community calling women breeders, instead of women being the actual title, which is what they are, which is a woman. So we have that. So he was also talking about AI, and I think I'm going to roll some of the clips back. So I don't have a disagreement with a lot of things that Elon is saying in this in this broadcast, because if you travel, if you're somebody that drives across the country, you see that there's a lot of barren land, a lot of land that for one, we need nature, we need natural, natural environments, because that's how you ground people, that's how you give people a form of spirituality. So you can't incorporate cities all over the place, that's a fact. But there's places where you can implement, you can have renewable energy, which is going to correct part of the problem with environmental issues when it comes to the wind turbines, solar panels. Excuse me. Sea rising from the poles freezing and then thawing. So using salinization and things like that, right? So that's how you get water to the cities. That's how you. But the thing is, nobody's addressing that, we have a government that has stopped farmers from farming in the United States, from producing crops and food for, the world and the United States. So that's a problem. So even if you bring in these children, if you bring in these populations of people, they have to be fed. Okay. You have to, the three main things for survival as a human being is, after you get out of the womb, water, food, shelter. So I hear what Elon's saying, but if we can take what he's saying and be like, okay, we're on board with you, then it would take Elon Musk going to countries like Haiti. I was talking about this with Big J yesterday on his live stream, and correcting their issues and making sure that, that they have a government that's not in duress. Okay. So it's taking the responsibility to make sure that people can thrive no matter what community they come from, and that they don't have to flee their country for safety. Okay. So in order to have those populations grow all over the globe, then things need to be corrected. It's one good thing to talk about population increase, right? But it's a whole nother ball game when it comes to correcting the environmental issues, like he talked about in this live stream that he did, or whatever thing he did, wherever he was talking, and correcting the issues of why people are fleeing countries and they don't want to have children in the first place. Correcting the issues when it comes to men and women, why they can't get along and why they don't want to produce children with each other. So those are all issues that need to be addressed when it comes to wanting population increase. Let me play some of what he said, because I was playing it before. Let me get back to it. And then I got to get going. Let me see what time it is. Yeah. All right. Where was I? All right. Come on now. Don't fuck with me.
AI serves as a tertiary cognition layer, where we've got the limbic system, kind of the primitive brain, essentially. We've got the cortex. So you're currently in a symbiotic relationship with your cortex and limbic system. That's what most of that computing power is oriented towards. How can I make the limbic system happy? That's what it's trying to do. Now, if we do have a third layer, which is the AI extension of yourself, that is also symbiotic.
Okay, now we get into some shit I don't agree with. So one main focus of the creator God that created all humanity, right? Or the creator gods, plural, that created all humanity, all the races and all the different variety of people that are on this globe, right? They gave free will. So they said, be fruitful and multiply upon the earth, and gave free will. The AI extension is absolutely zero, not at all free will. So we're not on the same page with this. Don't start putting nanobots in somebody's brain and choosing what they think and how they react to things. I have a problem with that. So self-correction, autocorrection is supposed to be autonomic. Autono, right? You are supposed to be doing the correcting within yourself. Basically what he's saying is he's going to put this technology, this AI technology, into your extension brain, right? That's going down the wrong rabbit hole. Okay, let's continue.
And there's enough bandwidth between the cortex and the AI extension of yourself such that the AI doesn't de facto separate. Then that could be a good outcome. That could be quite a positive outcome for the future. Your phone is already an extension of you. You're already a cyborg. You don't even, well, most people don't realize they are already a cyborg. If that phone is an extension of yourself, it's just that the data rate, the rate at which the communication rate between you and the cybernetic extension of yourself, that is your phone and computer, is slow. It's very slow.
So that's where we're off page. Let me roll it back though. That's where we're getting off topic.
We got an increase, right?
Yeah, what I'm saying is the U.S. has been below replacement rate for 50 years. The
That's so nuts.
Has increased
Like yearly
since the 70s. Yeah, since the early 70s, since like 71, 72.
So why are we skewed with all this BS that, we're overpopulating, but the population's growing, right?
No, it's not. So, I mean, I should say the like lifespan is increasing.
Mm-hmm.
People are living longer. That's the only reason why the population of Earth isn't plummeting, but it will plummet. So, just like one thing to mention to track is the ratio of adult diapers to baby diapers. Mm-hmm. Like, at what point does a country have more adult diapers than baby diapers? And like Japan went past that point over 10 years ago. Well, I think people we got to turn this around. We got to have at least a replacement rate, if not more, on the baby front. And by the way, these are not matters that are subjective. You can just literally look at the birth rate. Yeah. It's like it's an objective number. Like, how many kids babies were born? It's like they record this information. So so
you're saying people need to be having more kids?
Well, it's a like a low birth rate is a slow death for civilization. It's not a fast death.
Yeah, we're chilling for a bit.
Yeah, if you're cruising, it's just like the average age just starts drifting up, and then basically civilization will die with a whimper in adult diapers. It kind of sucks, doesn't it? It's like anticlimactic, it's not exactly. I mean, frankly, if you said given the choice, like I'd rather civilization went out with a bang than whimper in adult diapers.
Yeah.
So there's no dignity for the elderly, unfortunately. So saying that you'd rather have a big bang than to take care of the elderly, or that, okay, this is the thing. If you're so gung-ho for AI, then why don't you create bots that actually take care of the elderly and, change their adult diapers and things like that? Where, I mean, put your AI to good use. Put your AI to good use when it comes to taking care of the elderly, helping them to get to the toilet, helping them to shower, making their food. I mean, that's what you're building AI for, right? To help humanity. Anyways, one thing I can see, like, I don't know whether Elon Musk is going to prove to be a godsend to as somebody that is, very advanced in his thought processes, to where that he sees things that the majority of the people probably don't, or the majority of the population don't. Him buying Twitter. Did he buy Twitter because he knew that censorship possibly could run amok when it comes to people's free speech? I don't know. Does he see something? Because I know that certain owners of like Twitter, they are past Twitter. I think it was Twitter. Don't quote me. one of those other forums, not YouTube. And the lady was being held to the fire because um, the Inquisition was, why did you silence all these medical professionals when they were telling you about the virus, and they were trying to get communication and information out, and then you censored them on your platform. It was a CEO of one of the platforms. I need to find the clip. And she really was basically stuttering. She was like, oh, we thought we were doing the good thing, good for humanity. No, you were just you were keeping people in the dark about what this virus really was, and what took place and how it took place. So you kept people in the dark, and come to find out, yeah, it was from a lab, but we already knew it. People with a brain understood that and knew that it didn't come from fucking bats. Okay. Um, I'm going off on a tangent, but I want to get back to the population. So in order to grow the population, and this is the thing that never got addressed by Elon Musk in this interview, is that there's social issues, there's environmental issues that are the reason why people are avoiding having children. You know, relationship wise, people can't get it together. Very few people couple up and grow families and nurture their children and do things in the right manner or in a positive manner, because everybody makes mistakes, and teach their children to be critical thinkers and be the type of person that can lead other people that are not quite there yet, right? And I say that for all races of people. So the obligation is to be able to create an environment, a healthy environment for children, to make sure that they're educated and to make sure that they're loved and nurtured, and that they grow up as a whole human being without being violated. Not being, whoa, what was that? Not being violated by the school districts, not being violated in their home life, and not being violated by society. And I don't think we're there yet. So there is a decline. I agree with that. But one of the reasons for abortion is that, socioeconomic and economic reasons. Women don't want to bring the children into a world like that, and they don't want to, and they don't can't support them. And that's a valid reason for aborting, is knowing that you don't have the resources to take care of that child. So what do people like Elon Musk, who are extremely wealthy, or people like them who are running the world business wise, how do they feel about addressing those issues? And one of the issues I was speaking on, and I talked about before I realized I wasn't recording, was Haiti. At what point because environmentally, when people are fleeing their country because they feel they have fear, it's an obligation for the rest of the world to make sure that they don't have fearful things happen to them or feel fear in their own country. So I talked to Big J about this yesterday, and we were talking about the UN and why the UN feels good about stepping in to when it comes to European countries, but absolutely doesn't want to do anything when it comes to places like, well, Rwanda was one, and Haiti, and there being turmoil in Haiti, and not and their government being in decommission and unstable. So why, if they care about the world like they claim, have they not stepped in and took care of, the issue and making sure that Haiti is stabilized again as a country and can prosper and can be able to bring forth children that are cared for, loved, nurtured, and be positive beings of the society, and making them feel safe. Let me see. Let me see if I can go on and see what he was saying. because some things I agree with on Elon Musk, and some things I feel like, well, okay, you're talking macro, when it comes to the world, but what about the micro? The micro places like Haiti, and making sure that, the people in Haiti feel safe and are able to, nurture children, bring children into the world. Because nurturing and bringing people into the world is not one race of people. It's all races of people. When you're talking about the creator, divine creator, those gods that created with the divine creator are co-created, putting beings in their image, all beings in their image, male and female, created them. Then you have to do, step out of your comfort zone and do for people that you need, like Haiti. Like, you need to take care of Haiti and make sure that Haiti is taken care of, and not just Haiti. Like, there's stuff going on in Mexico right now, but I feel like the Mexican government can take control and correct the problems. Right now, there's a warning from the US government not to go to certain places in Mexico, unfortunately. Right now. Let's continue.
What's a bang?
Bang with World War III.
Why are they laughing? They're doing this interview and they're laughing. World War III is something to laugh about? Get the fuck out of here with that.
Like, it's just like sad, or it's just sad if you just die, and if civilization dies of old age, I think. So that's like that's probably the biggest.
So him growing old is his fear. But give the elderly their dignity and allow them to, to exist. And, it's a hard thing to be an elderly person. But if you have the technology, then build some AI robots to take care of the elderly. Then, if you're worried about whether they're going to be taken care of or not, you have the resources to build those AI robots to take care of them, change their diaper and clean them up and feed them and possibly talk to them or whatever, right? You're talking about extensions, a phone being an extension. Let me continue.
Myth that exists right now is this overpopulation myth. In fact, we have a population collapse problem. And I think people can see this anecdotally when they talk to friends. But I think that's the biggest risk to civilization right now. It's just we're going to get rid of this nonsense that we're having an overpopulation issue. We have an underpopulation issue.
Why do you think that that's not being said more then? That's a huge problem.
Different agenda. I mean, I think, some kind of, I think like maybe the sort of, like, I'm pro-environment, but I think the environmentalist agenda has kind of gone too far. Agenda.
Yeah,
that's an environmentalist.
Yeah, more.
Well, it's kind of like
So,
I mean, like a lot of these things. I don't think it's like some sort of like sort of nefarious mastermind situation. It's just a dumb idea that hasn't been fixed. As opposed to like somebody's masterminding or something. Yeah. But I'm just saying, objectively, one way or another, if we don't have kids, it's like population is going to decline, average age is going to increase. I think a lot of people think that there's too many people on the planet, but I think there's, in fact, too few. And the positive single greatest risk to human civilization is the rapidly diminishing growth rate.
Okay. So I think that, he needs to address what's the reasoning relationship wise, why people can't get it together to have children, to produce children, to stay with each other, to make sure the environment for their children is a safe one, it's a productive one, it's a nourishing one, to make sure that they grow up to be whole human beings. And the environmental issue, he talked about the environmental issue. And that environmental issue, he talked about there were mistakes made, and with those mistakes, they were never corrected. So I watched a video clip. I forget, I think it might have been Brazil, but I'm not for sure. It was a South American country, and they had so much garbage floating, like the city that was on the shoreline, threw all of their trash, plastics and all that shit into the ocean. And then you had people that were going behind, and I'm talking about a mile deep in the ocean, on the ocean shore, of trash and litter and garbage just floating on top. Like, it looked like you going to a garbage facility and seeing mountains of garbage on the earth, right? But this was in the ocean, affecting all the sea animals and sea creatures, and polluting the actual ocean. And then you had very minute amount of people. There were maybe a handful, 10 people, gathering all that trash that was on the shoreline to dispose of it more properly instead of being in the ocean. So these are environmental issues. I think it's the Pacific Ocean. They said that there's a place where all of the currents meet, and in that current, there is miles and miles and miles of trash and garbage. And this is the kind of stuff that actually can float to the top. You're not even talking about the shit that goes under the sea or in the oceans, right? That sink to the bottom. This is stuff that miles and miles of trash in the middle of the ocean where all the currents meet. So when we talk about environmental, I think a lot of people realize that some people are trying to take care of the earth and the other ones just don't give a fuck. And the ones that don't give a fuck are going to make it, is going to make it in the future a hell on earth. So populating the earth means educating the children that you bring in not to be throwing shit into the ocean or environmentally destroying the earth, and to make sure that it's pristine and it's clean, and that it makes it the ability for everyone to thrive and everyone to feel an actual paradise on earth. So those are some of the issues. It's not just bringing children into this world, it's making sure that those children that get brought into the world are loved, nurtured, cared for, have all the resources they need, and educated. Anyways, that's the end of I have to go.